All right, it's about time. I've waited long enough. What up, everybody out there in nerding land? It's time for
Distance Nerding.
All right. I got anxious. I was gone for a week and it bothered me. Bothered me so. Went on a secret mission. And in that secret mission, I didn't find the tacos I was looking for. It was upsetting. Completely. But let's get into this, guys. I'm back. And that being said, the fact that I'm back now, ladies and gentlemen, you are now watching Distance Nerding. And it is time to build that Sith that we were looking for, finish building that Sith we were looking for. Before I bring in all my guests and the people that we're talking with today, of course, I got to shout out the sponsors. Now, guys, as I always say, the stream, every show that we do on this channel is brought to you by Poddex. Poddex is a show prompt thingy. Okay, you know what? I should look at my copy right here. Poddex is a unique interview question and episode starting prompt in the palm of your hands. So whether you're a new podcaster or an existing broadcaster looking to grow your audience or get more engagement, you're going to want to check out Poddex. Guys, go to poddex.com and use the code NERDING10. That is NERDING10. And you get 10% off your purchase. If you're not a podcaster and you're just somebody who likes to play party games, dude, it's just as good for that. I mean, I've had plenty of situations where me and Jackie, we just have conversations with Poddex on stream, and we have a crap ton of fun. Now, everybody knows I'm ridiculously energetic as it is, right? So if the stream is brought to you by Poddex, then Young Phil is brought to you by DUBBY. All right. DUBBY is an emerging brand of energy drinks created to help focus, concentration, reaction time with no jitters or crash. DUBBY contains no maltodextrins, sugars, fillers, artificial colors, or dyes. Now, same deal, guys. And we already know you go to dubby.gg. That is dubby.gg. And put in the code NERDING10 to get 10% off your order of DUBBY. Now, tonight's flavor, I'm going for the Dub Sludge. Now, this is a green apple and I'm pretty sure it's cherry. But as I'm building this up real quick here, you guys know, without her, we wouldn't get through anything half the time. And she is the one that kept us running last week, and she keeps us afloat. Guys, you know her, you love her. It's your girl, Phoenix.
Hey.
What's up, Phoenix?
Welcome back.
Thank you for the welcome here. Thank you for holding down the fort while I was, doing my escapades and destroying the world.
Secret agent stuff. Yeah, we get it.
I mean, probably not secret agent. It was probably evil, but we're not going to go with that. Anyways, being on here now, guys, I am super happy to bring on this guest for this week. We're excited for this because we're going to be appearing at this con, but just everything that is going on with this and the guests that are going to be here, and just, I mean, Sons of Anarchy on Saturday and Star Wars on Sunday. Two properties that I am completely in love with, and just here to talk about Capitola Collecticon and just kind of everything else going on. Guys, welcome Rob to the stage. Rob! How's it going, man?
Perfect. How are you guys doing?
Oh, we're doing pretty great, man. Pretty
Hey, so what's that stuff called that you just put in your drink?
It's called DUBBY, man.
I heard all the things that you said that's not in it. So what's left? It sounds like there's nothing fun left.
You know what? It tastes amazing, man, and it does. It's really a gaming supplement. So it's like almost like
A
G Fuel.
gaming supplement.
Yeah, it's almost like G Fuel, right?
Okay.
Or G Fuel. But it doesn't have all the extra crap that G Fuel has in it. It's got like all the good stuff without all of the extras, So like
Nice.
it actually tastes really good, man.
And I'm sitting over here drinking on some Center CBD beverage, who's the sponsor for the Capitola Collecticon.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
I just had my first CBD beverage recently, man. It was really good, actually.
Okay. Well, we're gonna make sure you guys go home with a case from Center. So.
Oh, nice.
Take care of Phoenix. How are you? Good to see you.
I'm pretty good. How are yourself?
I'm a little tired. I'm a little tired. I'm a little wired. Donnie, lowrider, Donnie. Yeah. So sorry, my ADD rages on these things, and it's
It's your show.
If you hear a stupid musical thing going on behind me, I'm here at the mall, at Capitola Mall, and I'm right outside my door is that stupid little merry-go-round that plays the farmer in the. I don't know who the farmer is, but I'm gonna find him and I'm gonna kill him. Oh, see, there it goes.
I'm gonna find him and I'm gonna kill him. He's gonna be dead.
I listen to that fucking thing all day, and by the end of the night, I go home. I make my house dark. I don't even turn on the TV, and I have to just listen to nothing for like an hour, because it's just annoying.
At least it's not Baby Shark or something. He probably lost a service for a minute. He'll be back. Yeah.
Welcome back. I'm leaving.
I took over the show again. That's what happened.
Sorry about that. I was wiping my mouse off, and it just like swiped the whole thing away, and I was like, "Oh, great!" Completely unprofessional.
Nerds, I tell you, nerds.
100%. So I'm gonna switch my camera here. We're gonna keep on talking, and I'm gonna start building.
Yeah. So you said you're tired. I mean, I believe you. I always hear that that's the run up to a Comic-Con, right? Where you're just like going nuts. It's almost like having a kid where you're like, it's, all that work, and then, you get to reap the benefits, but then you're tired still after.
At this point, I'd rather have a freaking kid, man. Jesus. Fuck. So, yeah, I work with a guy named George. He owns Hadbro Toys. And we decided to put a little con together a few months ago. So we had our first one. We had about 800 people over the course of like 2 days. And we only had one celebrity then. And everybody came up to us going, "You need to do this again. You need to do this again. And you need to do this again." So I was like, all right, fine, whatever. So then we booked the old Sears building here, because Sears went out of business about 1.5 years ago. And so we took over 30,000 square feet, which is just a portion of it. And we're like, yeah, let's see what we can do. And so I reached out to my friend Chris Reed. Sorry, folks, I'm going to bore the shit out of you tonight. So I reached out to my buddy Chris Reed, and he's like, "Bro, I'm in." And then Natalie was like, "I'm in." So that was okay. So then I took those two names to Ryan Hurst, and Ryan's like, "Well, if they're coming, I'm coming." So that was Saturday. And then I'm like, "Well, what are we going to do on Sunday?" And I'm like, "Let's bring some Star Wars people." So I reached out to see Andrew Nelson and a couple of those guys that do the cons, and they came. And then I, just for chits and giggles, I reach out to Emily Swallow and Daniel Logan, and they were both going back and forth to see who falls first. And so Emily fell first, and then Daniel's like, well, if Emily's going, I'm going. And if I'm going, I'm going to bring some other people with me. So I was like, who? And he goes, well, I'll get Mark Anthony Austin. Mark was in. Then they got Dickie Beer. Dickie was in. Then we got John Morton, and John Morton's in. He's flying in from Portland, Maine. And then the last guy to sign on was Don Bees. Don was a little tough one to crack. And Don doesn't do a lot of conventions. He doesn't do celebrations. And speaking of celebration, I've pulled off something that Celebration has never been able to do before, is have 5 Boba Fett's in the same room at the same time signing autographs. The most they've had is 3. So,
wow.
Yeah.
In fact, that's going to be quite exciting, right?
Am I missing who?
All you're missing is Tamora Morrison.
Yeah.
And the 2 other guys that just did some other stuff. There's 2 other guys that wore the Fett costume, but they don't do cons or they don't do shows. So I think there was a total of 8 or 9 Fets, and Tamara was one. We're going to work on Tamara for doing something in the summer to do a private autograph signing with him down in LA.
Nice.
Ming Na Wen is exclusive with Fan Expo, so they didn't want to loan her to us for the weekend, right, which I think is kind of shitty. You have a client that was going to get paid, and you're like, no. We were in talks with Giancarlo Esposito, Mr. Moff Gideon himself.
Right.
When I went to LA Comic-Con, I sat and talked with him for about 20 minutes or so. It was a good talk. And we did a 1-sheet flyer for him. So I did a whole big marketing packet for him to show how serious we were. And he called his agent from behind the curtain, and he's like, I want to do this. I want to do this. We had an offer was out. The offer was accepted. But it was on contingent on this other offer from Dubai, which is happening the same weekend as ours.
Oh.
So Abu Dhabi, and I don't have that kind of money. I mean, I got like Jersey money. I don't have Dubai money.
Right.
So I can go get some White Claws, but I can't get the Dom. So they said, hey, he's going to go to Dubai, but there's been some unrest over there in the Middle East right now. Mm-hmm. And we gave the option to Giancarlo that if he has to back out of Dubai, we'll take him. I don't care if he calls me 2 days prior and said, hey, I'm coming. We've got him. So if he does back out of Dubai, we'll get him up here. So
nice. That'd be super
nice.
Dope. Yep.
I mean,
we talked to Gina's people, and we did a post the other day about having Gina Carano, and I just said, look, people, I just need a yes or a no. And these people wrote sentence after sentence. My emails blow up. Fuck no. Fuck her. Do that. I'm like, I just needed a yes or a no. And I understand what was said, and it rubbed people the wrong way.
Right.
And somebody else that works for the Mouse and ABC said something worse and was only given a 2-week suspension. So I really don't feel that the punishment fits the crime in Gina's situation. Yeah. And I'll stand with Gina forever. And in risk of losing people, I don't care. This is America. You're allowed to say what you want to say. Yeah. And so what, you work for the Mouse. I don't care. And that's the reason why I'm not in the 5-0 Legion anymore, is because of all the drama that the Mouse brings to something like that. So now I'm just a nomad TK doing my own thing, going places wherever I want to go. So,
I mean, good for you, because having worked in media and as a journalist for so many years now, I like to support freedom of speech. Even if I don't agree with that speech, I just like to support it. Because
you have every right to say what you want to say.
Yeah.
Other side of the coin, you can't just walk into a McDonald's, like work at McDonald's and walk in there and say what the fuck you want and not get fired for it. So, I mean, that's the other side of the coin of that.
Yeah.
She is working for a company. So, I mean, she has to represent that company.
Yeah, and I'm glad Favreau stood up and said, look, I'm going to bring her back in season 4. I'm writing her back in. And I mean, that's what we've heard. I don't know how true it is.
Rumors. Yeah.
Rumors. But, Gina, we threw a decent offer to her to see. And she logged in as a different name and was reading everybody's comments. And, she's like, Rob, I don't think at this time it would be your best interest to have me there. I mean, you have some vendors that are saying some things. You have some people that wanted to come that won't come because of me, and I don't want you to do that. So she says, let's wait till next time and things are die down a little bit and we'll come back. And I was like, okay. So, but I think to have her and Moff Gideon at the next show, I think that would be insane.
Yes,
Right.
please.
Yes,
I
please.
would love to meet her and shake her hand because she has brought such like female power to the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
I would love to shake her hand and say thank you.
And the one female character that I would love to have, besides peace up to Carrie Fisher, you know,
Yeah.
we can't have her, but I want Rose. I want Kelly
Yeah.
Marie Tran. I love her.
That would be dope.
And the abuse that she took from fellow nerds. You know what? You're not a Star Wars fan then. If you
Yeah.
want to trash a character, so what? She was awesome. And I would love to have her show up.
Yeah. Kelly Marie Tran killed that role, no matter what.
She killed it. Nobody,
Mhm.
you know, you got to look at back over the roles and see who they cast and how big it got and be like, this person was perfect for this. You couldn't have casted anybody different. Like Rose, she was perfect for Rose.
I often say if you've got a problem with what these actors are doing or what these characters are doing, go talk to Kennedy or Favreau, or you know, they're the ones that are pulling these strings, not the actors. Yeah. So
Even then, like again, it's the same thing that happened with Ahmed Best. You know, like a lot of people.
Oh
just-
God.
Yeah, like they treated him so like crappily for a character that he played. It's
Well,
like,
see, the
dude,
thing-
he didn't have a choice over that character.
I don't go after the actor. I go after the character.
Yeah.
mhm.
You know, like somebody like Jar Jar. Yeah, you go after, you know, the producer and the executive director and be like, what were you thinking? You don't go after the actor that.
No.
Dude, you don't go after anybody in the Star Wars universe. You know how freaking lucky you are to be tapped on the shoulder and say, hey, we have a part for you in this.
Right.
And then you go to you can ride a 2-minute scene. You can ride that for the rest of your life going to all these
Right.
Star Wars cons because you'll get people coming out of the woodwork to get your autograph.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
So
just
speaking of autographs,
Donaldson. I was gonna say like Tim Donaldson.
Speaking of autographs, yeah.
Yep. Speaking
And
of
Tim
autographs,
Donaldson's like 100% that.
yeah, no, I agree, and it's, you know, I was explaining to people that they're like, why did you go with these people? And it's, if I'm spending all this money to have people come to my convention, I at least want to be fans of these people so I can meet them too, you know. So I
Right.
could get all my stuff autographed for free because I'm not standing in line.
I was gonna say right behind me, I've got a Gina Carano Funko Pop all ready for her to sign once you get her. So let me know.
I got a bunch of stuff for her. I got a bunch of stuff, and there's a girl that's on Instagram called Little Miss Marshall.
Mhm.
She does the best Gina Carano, Cara Dune ever. I had her on my Instagram live 2 weeks ago. I had more people tune in for her than Don B's, who was on before her.
Right.
Oh no, it was I forget who I had on before her. I know I had Tim Donaldson on before her, Jawa,
Mhm.
original
Right.
Jawa, and I got more people that stayed for Little Miss Marshall than did an original Jawa. And you know, Tim was like, dude, why are you bothering me? You know, nobody's gonna get in line for me. I'm like, dude, you're a Jawa. Are you kidding me? You were one of the original 8.
Right.
Really?
He beat out his sister. As I love that story.
Yeah, she was a inch and a half too short.
Right.
Too tall. She was
Too
too tall.
tall.
Yeah. So he got the part over her. So I was like, do you get to throw that in your sister's face all the time? Like, bitch, I was a Jawa.
I interviewed him for another show a while back on another show that we were on. And I ended the interview with, all right, so I have my last question for you is just Utidi. And he just looked at me and started laughing.
Otini.
Yeah. So we're gonna have fun, and you know, speaking of Sons of Anarchy, you know, that was a really big was getting Ryan Hurst, and you know, the reason why I went with Ryan Hurst was because he was Sons, he was, you know, in a lot of shows that people watch. Remember the Titans? That's on my house at least once a week.
I love that movie.
You know, he's Beta in Walking Dead. I love The Walking Dead. He's in the Mysterious Benedict Society, which just got picked up for season 2. And that's why he's flying up and flying back same day, because he gets done with shooting, gets on the plane, comes to us, and then has to be back in LA for another nighttime shoot. So he's only here for 5 hours and then leaves.
Oh, he's gonna be crazy.
When
tired.
when I saw Ryan Hurst on like the docket that he was going to be there, I got stupid excited because he was
because he's in a lot of great stuff.
character. Yeah, like he was my favorite character in Sons.
Yep.
So like Opie's easily my favorite character. But on top of that, I love his character in Remember the Titans just because of the growth through the entire movie. Like he's such a good character.
Yeah, it was a great character. We tried to get Julius too, but he was unavailable. So that way we could have strong side, left side. We could have both of those guys do that in front of us. So like I tried to do some tie-ins, and then my friend Titus Welliver, who was in Sons and he was in Star Wars. He was in Mandalorian. I tried to get Titus, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll come." I mean, we're still trying to maybe work out some deals for get him, but that would be a good crossover. So you have somebody for Sons, and then you have the same guy in Star Wars, even though he was only in one episode. But still, Star Wars.
I mean, yeah. Even if you've never been seen, some people are behind the scenes all the time as a droid, right? They're still part of the Star Wars family. So
well, like, look at Kyle Pasek. Like Kyle Pasek is blowing up in the con circuit, and I mean he played a Jawa. Like he was that's.
Well, he was the one that was blown up, so I mean that's kind of cool. Oh yeah, I stole his jetpack and I was blown up. I mean, that's cool. Yeah, you were only in it for like 30 seconds, but yeah, you played a big part. You got blown up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he did the stunts too.
He did all the stunts.
Yeah.
Yep. So
I mean,
Saturday is really decent, and then comes Sunday, and I'm giddy over Sunday. I mean, hell, we hang out with the armorer, and I knew she was going to be in the Book of Fett, so I've been having to keep quiet for the past couple weeks because I knew once she was in Fett, I could say, "Hey, look, now you got to come get your autograph," because she was in both, Book of Fett, and we might see her again tomorrow night. I don't know, but there are some interesting things that are going to happen tomorrow night. That's all I can say.
I mean, she is Death Watch. I mean, there's a lot that can happen with Death Watch right now.
Yeah, there's a lot, and so getting Emily was great. Talking to her and her agent, and just it's just been awesome. And then dealing with Daniel Logan, and then dealing with him, it was just he calls me like once a day. Like my phone rings and there's a picture of Boba Fett on the phone. And in the beginning I was like, "Oh my god, Boba Fett's calling Boba Fett." Now it's like, "What do you want?" It's like I just talked to you an hour ago. What do you want? But no, Daniel's good people.
Yeah,
Daniel's really good people.
I really want on this show. Like I've always wanted to interview Daniel Logan.
You could ask C. Andrew Nelson. I was like that with him at first when I first met him. I was like fangirling, and now I'm like, "Hey, Drew."
Yeah, it's like, "Yeah, what do you want, Daniel? I'm eating dinner."
Drew's been on our show twice, and it was funny because I built a Vader head, and he came on for the first build, and he had so much fun. The next week, he was like, "Hey, can I come back on next week?" Like, hell yeah!
What are you building?
So I right now am building a Darth Maul art piece.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
nerds.
Yeah, hell yeah, I'm a nerd. All about it.
So that's beautiful. That looks cool.
He had a choice between that one, Kylo Ren, and
Vader.
Darth Vader.
I would have went with Kylo.
Well, I asked our Facebook group, and everybody voted for Darth Maul.
Well, then I won't say anything about, well, we talked to Ray about coming to this one, and he's, a lot of guys I talked to in the Star Wars universe to coming to this, they were all like, "Well, what have you done before? How many of the actors have you had before?" When you say, "Well, this is our second one and we haven't had any Star Wars guys before," they're like, "You know what? I'm going to pass. I'll wait to see what happens at this one, and then we'll reach out." Now I'm getting, in the pre-show, we talked about how now I have agents calling me like, "Hey, I know we couldn't do something before, but my guy is like, hey, can you get me into this?" And I'm like, "Hey, no."
You know what sucks about that too is that there's a good chance that the actor said yes right up front, but the agent was like, "Well, let's wait it out."
Yeah. And at that point, I love working with actors directly, and I've worked with about 5 of them directly for this show. It's because I know the agents get their 3% or 10%. So I'm like, "Look, I'd rather deal with you. Give me your phone number, and I will send you 20% of your fee up front right now."
Yeah.
And you're like, "Are you kidding?" And I'm like, "No, give me your number, and I'll send it to you. I won't text you. I won't give it out." And within minutes, I had Zelle money everywhere. And everybody's like, "Dude, you're this serious?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's how bad I want you." They're like, "Okay, I'm in."
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just tell my agent, I handled this on myself, and don't cut him in. I'm like, "Perfect." We were in talks with a couple of other people, but their agent was just a jerk. So I was like, you know what? You just totally ruined this for your 2 clients. He represents 2. And I was like, dude, you want way too much for minor characters. You know,
Yeah.
I said, look, I didn't even pay that much for Emily, and you want this much for your client. And I'm like, that's not going to work. So that's why I went with the other guys we went with. You know, landing 5 Boba Fett's. We're flying John Morton in from Portland. Don is driving in from Richmond, California. Daniel's driving up from LA. Yeah, Daniel's driving up from LA. Mark Anthony Austin is driving up from LA. Dickie's flying in from LA. So it's just going to be a really cool time because Don had told me that there are 2 of the Fets that he's never met before.
Oh, nice.
So to see the 5 of them in a room, and we're going out to dinner Saturday night, me and the 5 guys.
Right.
And I'm just going to be a fly on the wall to just watch these guys talk and just because some have never met each other before. Some have worked together before. So just to hang out with these guys is going to be like, because Friday I'm going out to dinner with Tom Sizemore and his agent.
Right.
Yeah.
I love Tom Sizemore.
We interviewed Sizemore, or at least Phoenix interviewed Sizemore on one of our past shows.
Yeah. I felt really bad too because that was a really tough day. It was very, very hot and everything was very, very late. And I would love to meet him again because that was a really, really intense day.
Are you coming to the show?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We'll let you meet Sizemore. You're going to be here all 3 days, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. I got you.
Thank you.
Well, you guys with media passes will have green room access and things like that. So we'll let all the actors know that there is media, that if you would like to be interviewed, let me know who you would like to talk to, who you don't want to talk to. That way I can let you guys, members of the media, know, hey, Sizemore's available or this guy's not available. And that way, you know, there's no confusion or like, well, Rob said you could be interviewed. And yeah, that I want to get people who are into this because this is a big show and it's one of the biggest cons that Central Coast has ever seen. Right. You know, we have Hollywood coming to a very small town. We got 5 fucking Boba Fett's coming. I'm still in awe that I was able to pull off 5.
It's crazy because Modesto's the same way, where like they had just like small cons, and now they're starting to become like a big like con center. And it's Modesto.
I'm swinging for the fucking fence on this one. You know, it's the only thing that can happen. I can't go smaller after this.
No,
absolutely not. And I'm excited.
I mean,
I'm excited to see where this goes because like we wanted to be a part of it from the beginning. You know, like we were very much like you know, our thing is partially exposure, but also we just want to have fun and we want to be a part of these things that, you know, from the groundwork up, you know?
Right.
I mean, Emily is A-lister as far as I'm concerned at this point, since she's been on so much now.
Well, Daniel's a big deal for me too, because not only was he young Boba Fett, but he also did the voice in the Clone Wars. So like he's been Boba Fett a lot more than
I told Daniel if he calls me at 2:00 one more morning, I'm gonna I'm gonna cancel his contract and I'm gonna go get Omega and have her come fill in for him. So he was kind of shitty at that, but I love Daniel. He's awesome. To the fact that Daniel and I are partnering up going forward, and we are changing the name from the Capitola Collecticon to Daniel Logan Presents the National Comic-Con. And we're going to take it on the road, and we're going to split up days like we did here.
That's dope.
We're going to do anime. We're going to do Star Wars. We're going to do all sorts of stuff. Who knows? Maybe be a Breaking Bad reunion. We're in talks for a lot of stuff. A Sons reunion with like 8 cast members down the road. I mean, we're in talks with everybody on that too.
You get Charlie Hunnam on there, and everybody's going to go nuts.
Well, we got Charlie's bike coming. The bike that he rode in the last scene where he runs into the truck.
Right.
Driven by Michael Chiklis. So that bike that he rode will be here. The bike that Ryan Hurst and Chris Reed rode on will be here. And the really cool thing we're doing with the fans is RS Motorsports, who owns the world's largest private collection of Sons of Anarchy memorabilia. They're bringing these bikes, and they're going to let you sit on it while you get your selfie taken with Chris Reed and Ryan Hurst.
Ooh.
So you get to be on the bike that they actually drove and rode in the show.
That's stupid cool, man.
Yeah, it's $100, but you get to sit on a bike where, when you go to a con, you can't touch the props. You can only look at them. They're behind glass. No, these guys are putting stuff out for people to touch and hold and sit on the bike. And it's crazy. I mean, once I started announcing that I wanted to do this show, we had just people coming out like, I want to come. I want to come. I want to come. What can we do? How can we help? The only one person that's not helping is the mall. And that's why we don't say in our stuff anymore that we're at the Capitola Mall. They're overcharging us for the space, and I really don't care if I dime them out right now because it doesn't matter. We have contracts in place, and
and they're only doing what they're doing because they know they can make money off of it.
Yeah. So I mean, the rental that they gave me was outrageous. They're getting a vig on every ticket and every vendor. So I'm like, I'm not going to bring it here next year.
Mm-hmm.
You're not helping me promote it. I tried to put banners in all the empty stores here in the mall, and they're like, no, we don't want to turn us into the Comic-Con mall. And I'm like,
that's stupid.
Thanks. Here I'm bringing 2,000 to 4,000 people to a mall that's dead and dying, and you don't want to help me promote it?
That's dumb. That is
Dude, I just spent $1,800 on it was $1,800 for 185 commercials to be on TV on Fox 35.
Mm-hmm.
The whole week before and the week of, we were just peppering the TV show. So I called them today saying, hey, remove anything that has the mall logo on it and just say the old Sears, corner of Capitola Road and 41st Avenue.
They're going to be so pissed, but whatever, man.
They wanted me to use just one entrance, and I'm like, no.
What the fuck, man?
Yeah. Yep.
That doesn't sound safe either.
No, it doesn't. And being a former fireman, I was like, no, that's not going to work, dude. Not going to work.
We do have a question because I know we're kind of winding down a little bit. How long does it take for you to plan these Comic-Cons is what the chat is asking.
Okay, so the funny thing was the first one we did back in August, we had 6 weeks to come up with it.
Oh,
this one we had 5 months to come up with, and I'm still planning every day. A con of this size. And here's the thing. There's only 3 of us working on this. It's me, my wife, and George. And it's George had all the vendors. My wife works for Google, so she's been helping me at night do all the vendor list and guest list and all that stuff. And then me, I was out getting all the talent, getting all the posters, getting all the merch, getting everything for everybody. And it's I wish I had about 3 more months before we pulled off the show instead of 2.5 weeks. Holy shit.
Right. Yeah.
I know, right?
Holy shit.
Wow.
I know.
Close, man.
I'm getting ready to cosplay together because I'm just so excited. I want to be like part of this. I am so very excited.
One of my buddies, he is coming as Darth Revan. He has a really, really good Darth Revan costume. And he's bringing one of his friends that comes as Darth Nihilus, who's part of the 501st.
Well, so the other thing with 501st was this was an official troop for one of the garrisons.
Mm-hmm.
And there were some issues that came up. And so I was like, you know what? I'll pull it. I pulled it. So I pulled it as an official troop for them. But now they're blocking all the other garrisons from coming and making it as an official troop because it's their area.
Which is what they do.
And I'm like, it's my con. I can invite whoever the fuck I want. And I don't care if somebody records me saying that.
Yeah.
It's my money that, dude, I'm out $50,000 already for all of this. Mm-hmm. And I haven't, we sold like $50 worth of tickets today. So I'm just a little bit off the pace. But it's my show. If I want to make somebody prominent, I can do whatever the hell I want. And I can tell you at the door, if I don't like you at the door, you're not getting in.
Yeah.
No, I'm just playing. We'll let everybody in because I'll take your money because I'm a greedy motherfucker. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, folks. I'm kidding.
Speaking of making money, since it's the 6:30 mark, you're going to be selling pins and all sorts of stuff when you're there, and Funko Pops, hopefully.
Yes, we have Funko Pops for pretty much everybody. We have some special OP Pops that we got direct that were actually misprints from Funko. They were going to destroy them, but I took them anyway. Nice. Because they're like, oh, send them back. We'll give you. I'm like, no. We have the exclusive Funko Pop for Sully and Boo, where she's sitting in a Chinese food container. We've got those. We have Armor Pops, Armor Black Series. We've got Armor regular pops. We've got other pops for everybody. We have 8x10 photos for everybody. 8x10s are $5. 16x20s are $20. Comes with a protective sleeve. We have 4 of the custom-made young boba pops. We had a client come in. We had a customer come in today, or a fan come in today and buy one. So we had a guy that's custom designing. Be ready. Be needy. I didn't do my show prep today. I'm sorry.
No problem.
One of our guys that's a follower on ours on Instagram at Capitola Collecticon, he does custom pops. And so he did a Daniel Logan one, and he only made 5 of them for us. And they're $150. It includes the Daniel Logan autograph. So what'll happen is the 5 people that buy him get to go backstage. I will already have them numbered 1 of 5, 2 of 5, 3 of 5, and so on, 5 of 5.
Oh,
They'll be face down in a protector, and then they'll be shuffled, and you'll pick one, and that's the one you get. Somebody's going to get the 1 of 5. Somebody's going to get the 5 of 5, which are 2 good numbers to have. And then you hand it to Daniel. He signs it, put it back in your sleeve, and you're good.
I'm
Nice.
completely jealous.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of cool stuff. We have some amazing Boba Fett artwork that was done by Lael Schlitz. We have some raffles that are going off for the Grant Imahara Steam Foundation. Don Bees, who is the other guy who played Boba Fett, and Grant were great friends. So when Grant passed away, Don was the president of the foundation. So one of our artwork guys is doing one of them big 5-foot Happy Gilmore looking checks, so we can give it to Don on the last day of the show and all that, and raise some money. So we have some really neat 1-of-1 pieces that were drawn by some amazing artists. I donated a framed 16x20 autograph of Jeremy Bullock that will have all the other Fets sign it as well. So when you leave, you'll have all 6 Fets on it.
That's dope.
Yeah, so we're hoping that one gets around $400-500 for charity. We have some other cool Fet pieces that are in the works being printed right now that we're going to get printed up. So we have a lot of stuff. We got posters for Mary. We got all the actors will have 8x10s. We have some really cool Boba Fett 16x20s. We have a great silhouette one that I posted on my Instagram the other day. It's all white background with just the black silhouette of Boba Fett as he's leading Han Solo when he was in Carbonite through Cloud City. So we've got that print. We just got some really cool artwork at our merch booth. We're not crazy prices. You know, when I sign off my Instagram live every night, as I will do in about an hour when I go back on at 7 tonight, you know, this is a convention for the fans, by the fans. You know, I'm not some big corporate guy that's got millions of dollars behind me and charges $90 for parking, $100 to get in.
Yeah.
No, you know, we have 4,000 parking spaces for free here at the mall. You know, cover is $20 a day or $35 for a 2-day pass. You know, autograph tickets. I think the most expensive autograph we have is Emily at $70. Everybody else is less than that. And most of the other Boba Fetts are like $30.
Yeah.
So we wanted to make this very affordable, and going forward, all of the conventions that I throw are going to be affordable for everybody. And that's what it is. I'm tired of going to a convention, paying $100, waiting in line for 5 hours, and then getting the guy's autograph, and you're there for 2 seconds. I mean,
Right.
I just wasted $100 for that.
And you miss half the con.
Right, and you do. And it's like the photo op for Giancarlo. He had like 400 people in his photo op line at LA Comic-Con. And it's like, you get in, smile, click, okay, thank you. Smile, click, thank you. Smile, click, thank you. It's
not
like,
very personal.
No, it's not. And speaking of photo ops and things, we are requiring, yes, I know California is lifting the mask mandate on the 15th. But this is a masked event because we're going to have over 1,000 people. So you got to be masked and you got to be vaxxed and have your vax card. And it's people, you know, I said on my Instagram yesterday, I'm not taking away your freedom. I'm not taking away your liberty. I'm not taking anything away from you.
Right.
We are just making sure that these actors are protected. You know, Chris Reed his wife just had a baby 2 days ago. So he's still making sure that everybody's masked and vaxxed. And I'm like, yes, I'm not changing any of my rules.
No.
I want this to be a safe event. And you'll see when you get here, everybody gets their own little pod. It's not going to be table like a normal convention. Everybody's going to be spread out over 32,000 square feet. So there might be a good 8 to 10 feet in between vendors. So you get a full 360 access to their booth, which I think is a great idea. Because instead of leaning over and going, oh, can I see that pop back there? You're right there with it.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I'm a vet, right? And one of the things that I've always wondered about, or just kind of I've always thought was stupid, was when I hear people say you're taking away my freedom when it comes to this. Like, how? In what way are you being impeded and being?
We're not locking you up. You're not being detained.
Right.
You have freedom to move. A mask is just a health mandate. That's all. If you don't want to wear a mask, I'm sorry, I can't let you in. I can't.
And what's funny is like this almost is going more towards their point because it's not going to stop them. But it's like in Asian countries, it's a courtesy to wear a mask when you're sick because you're not trying to get other people sick. That's the idea of wearing a mask. Not just
that, but I actually agree with wearing a mask, especially in this time of year where everybody's going
Also, though, if you're one of those people that is like, super anti-mask or whatever, and you have your reasons, like another thing is it can be cold outside. I just went to Nashville, right? I wore a mask because it was cold as shit and it kept my face warm.
Yep. And the thing is, your mask isn't protecting me. My mask is protecting you. Because if I've got something, I don't want you to get it. And that's how I look at it.
100%. Exactly.
I had COVID 2 weeks ago, and I knew I was getting sick about 2 days before I was positive. So I was making sure I wore my mask around everybody. I didn't shake hands with anybody because I said I kind of feel a little twinge. And then, of course, I came down positive, and I'd locked down in my house for 6 days, and then I was negative. But my mask is protecting you if I have something.
Exactly.
And that's all I'm doing. So this is going to be a great event. I mean, it's something that the Central Coast has never done before. I mean, 5 vets in the same room with a current TV, the Mandalorian and the Armorer and Book of Fett. She's here. I mean, fuck. I could have just dropped the mic after booking her, and that was it.
This shows. I've been excited for it for a while, and not just because of like the lineup that you have, but just also because we're getting into the swing of going back to cons and just talking to people. And I live to entertain. Like I do this because I like entertaining people, not because there's like, oh, on the back end I want to get money or whatever it is. Everybody else does their shows for. I do this because of the entertainment aspect. It's fun for me.
And I looked at LA Comic-Con. They had 94,000 people over 3 days.
Yeah, man.
Cons are back, and it's seeing the lines for actors. And Ryan Hurst did a show in Texas where he had like 400 people in line. He did 3 comic book stores in Phoenix the other day, and he had like 100 to 200 people in line. That's why I created the Fast Pass. It's like Fast Pass is going to come in the best on Sunday.
Yeah,
it's going to come in best on Sunday because for $10, you're the next person in line to get the autograph. So you could go and go see the other 4 vets. And then there's a line for, Emily, you just get to walk right in front of the line, get your autograph. You don't have to wait for anything. So you can be in and out in 20 minutes because everybody's coming out at one time. All 5 vets are coming out at 1:00 on Sunday. So Emily's going to come out, I think, noon to like 3, and then she'll do her photo ops. But all 5 vets come out at 1:00. We're doing a special introduction for them. We've been getting timing down with how we're announcing things, with what music we're going to use. So it's going to be a production. It's not like, okay, ticket holders want to line up for the, okay. No, we're doing a whole big fucking intro. We're going to do lineup is 10 tickets at a time. So 1 through 10, 11 through 20. That way we keep our spacing. So, and then we'll give people time to line up after the 10th person. We'll call it. So, but we want to make sure everybody has a good time. Nobody's bumping each other in line. Everybody's respectful. There is no lean-in selfies with these guys leaning in like this. No, there's none of that. If you need a photo op, you got to buy the photo op ticket, which goes in the back. Then it's one-on-one with you and the actor. So, we're trying to do a lot of things to protect a lot of people. And if we can come away from this convention and get no cases, it's a win. It's a win.
So you pay to be clear. You pay and you get to be close to this actor. You get to speak with them. You get to have a conversation, right?
Yeah. So when you go back into the green room for the photo op, You know, you just walk back and you're like, hey man, how are you? Thank you for signing this for me. You know, I appreciate it. And talk for a couple seconds, and then we use your phone because you know all these selfie companies that come like LA Comic Con, they charge an arm and a leg. They keep all the photo money.
Right.
Where I'm just taking it with your phone and handing you your phone back, and you
Very
keep
nice.
the only photo. So it's like an NFT. You've got the only picture. There
It's
you go.
exclusive, right.
You know.
Yeah.
So I think the coolest picture opportunity that we have available is the 5 Fet photo op. And I say this a lot on my lives, is make sure you get the John Morton autograph, and you guys will understand why in about a year, where you'll look at it and be like, oh shit, Rob was right. So John Morton autographs are the ones you need to get. You have to.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you guys after. I'll send you a message on what's going on with John. But yeah, get his autograph. It's $30. Trust me. And if you get the best option is getting all 5 on one piece.
Right.
Because I mean, where else are you going to get all 5 in one shot? You can't.
Right.
We've got some big Funkos that we want them to sign.
Yep.
Yeah,
That would be possible.
I've got a giant size Fet, and that's that. I was planning on having them sign that.
You guys bring whatever you want from home. You just buy your autograph tickets. They'll sign anything. If they refuse to sign something at the table due to tastefulness or something that they don't feel comfortable with, you'll get a refund. But only Natalie has some stuff that she won't sign. There's some hand bra topless things that she did where she won't sign those anymore from when she was a Strike Force ring girl. But other than that, she'll sign anything. Daniel, you know, so. But if you guys have any more questions for me, let me know.
Yeah.
I got to jam out of here in like a minute or two to go on my Instagram live. So if you guys are in here and you want to jump over to my live, yes. I'll tell you what, if starting tomorrow, if you guys want to give out a discount code, we'll give $5 off any tickets. So we'll just use the code NERD starting tonight at midnight, and you guys can get the discount of $5 off to come on down to the show.
There we go.
You guys heard it here first.
You guys heard it here.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, guys. Thanks for having me on. I'm sorry I had to cut it short, but I go back on my live at 7, and you know, if I dump off at 7:30 or so, if nobody's following me, maybe I'll come back in for that Dance party, Dance Revolution.
Right?
Yeah,
brother.
I'll put on my banana hammock. I'll get some other shit working here. I'll tie my shirt up in like one of these little things.
Oh, that's going on our OnlyFans.
Like Spartacus from Birdcage. Come on, Gloria. They just don't know what they're estrogen rockets. Yeah, so maybe I'll dress like Hank Azaria in Birdcage and have some fun with you guys later on.
There you go, man. Brother, business is business, so we get it, man. You got to do your thing. But hey,
you guys rock.
You giving us the time. And
thank you for wanting me. I mean, it's awesome to be. Hey, do you want to come on and do an interview? It's like I'm just the guy throwing a con, but it's an epic con.
The thing. You're a guy throwing a con. That's a big thing, man.
It rivals Celebration, and that's my whole thing. Is if you can't make Celebration this year, come to mine. It's just gonna be it's gonna be better than I think than Celebration, because one, we have tickets.
You've been planning your long
free parking, and you get to see 5 Fets and the Armor.
And probably the closest you might get to some of these celebrities ever. Yeah. So
we're making them very accessible, especially Friday night for the VIP party. The celebrities are going to be walking around just talking to you guys, and it's whoever's here. So it's not like I can say the Fets are going to be here. It's whatever celebs are going to be here. I know Mary will be here, the voice of Boo. Chris Reed will be here. Natalie Sky will be here. Sizemore will be here. Cesar Garcia will be here, and they're just going to be walking around the room, hanging out, talking to you guys, taking selfies. Autographing stuff, 1 item per person. That's all we ask. Don't be greedy, fuckers. You know, let me go out to my car and get this. Let me go out to, and you make 6 trips to your car. No, I'll block you at the door.
Just give them a nice knife hand. Like, look here, fucker.
Yeah. You've had 12 autographs. You don't need any more. So, no, we just ask that you guys be respectful to the talent that's there. And because we are paying them to be there for Saturday, them coming on Friday is on their own. So, because they want to see James Durbin do the show and all that stuff. So it's just be respectful for the talent that's there. You know, they'll do selfies, they'll do an autograph, but if you start abusing them, they'll just go back to the hotel. And I really don't want that to happen. I want everybody to have fun. Because where else are you going to mill around with the celebs and fucking hang out?
Exactly.
It doesn't happen.
It's like being at a Hollywood party.
It is. It's exactly, that's how I wanted this con to be with everybody. That's why we're doing a VIP night. We got a local comic who's going to open up for James Durbin. She's funny as fuck. She's going to do like 20 minutes. She's hysterical. She's like this big and her jokes are like this big. She's fucking awesome. So she's going to come down and hang out. And then James will go on. And then 8 o'clock, doors close. And we start back at it at 10 o'clock the next day. First people coming back up, it'll be like 11. Follow us on Instagram at Capitola Collecticon. You'll see all the updates we do, what times people are coming out. Get on our email list. We'll hand out flyers the day of the show, who's signing at what times, and other things like that. But it's gonna be a great weekend, and I'm taking 5 days off afterwards to go down to LA and go to Universal and Disney after the show, so I can decompress and have a little fun myself. So
Go get some massages, relax.
yes, I am, and sleep.
Sleep. More. There you go.
I'll be able to sleep after this. So, and yes, if you guys are watching and you do get my messages on Instagram, that is me at 2 o'clock in the morning answering you. That's nobody else. That's just me. So
I love that.
I was
come
so
up and
bad
say
when I
hi.
messaged you.
Come up and say hi and say thank you if you want to. I'll take all the handshakes in the world. If you have a problem with it, my name is John Smith, and I won't be here all weekend.
You don't know me. Yeah.
If you had a good time, my name is Rob. If you didn't, my name is John.
Exactly.
Rob, it was so nice having you on. Hopefully you come back on soon. Anyone else from the con that wants to come party with us for a little while, we are thrilled to have them to keep pushing this con up until the very last day. Thank you so much for joining
like
us.
I said, if Daniel Logan is bothering you, man, just tell him to come on our show, and we'll
okay.
Yeah.
I'll work it out with him.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can get somebody else to come on with me next week or the week after, but I would love to get on with you guys maybe a couple days before, maybe give away some tickets on your next show. And, you know, if people are watching and they want to chat, and, you know, first 5 people to come on, we'll give a pair of tickets to the Sunday or something. We'll do something fun. Yeah. So we'll come on a couple days. We'll come on the week before the show and go from there. The week of the show.
I'm all
look at.
Yeah. Anything you want to do, you let us know.
Or if you guys want to come down Thursday and set up Thursday, and we do a live feed Thursday from the venue before the calm before the storm, and we'll give away tickets that night. You guys are more than welcome to come down the day before, and we'll do something live and go from there.
Got to think about it.
Yeah, about it. I got gears turning right now. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.
Absolutely, Rob. You have a good night, man.
Appreciate you guys. Take care. Thanks for having me on. I greatly appreciate it.
Hell yeah.
Take care.
Talk to you soon. That was a lot.
Oh my God, that was me. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm more excited. I was already excited for this con. I'm more excited now. Guys, my hands are going to talk for you, okay? I am excited. Jazz hands.
I'm ready to party. I am ready to
party.
Can we skip the rest of February and just switch to March, please? I mean,
yeah, absolutely. That's the plan, is that we're just gonna skip February at this point. We've already celebrated my birthday. Let's move on from here.
Greg wants to borrow the jet to come and join us.
That's fine. Hey, send Greg a link. Get him in here. Greg, get inside the room now. I need you here.
Yeah, Greg, come join us. Come on.
You might have to send him a link.
Oh, okay.
I would, but I'm in the middle of building.
I'll do it. That's right now.
Oh man,
that it's crazy. I am super excited. Excuse the typing for a moment while I send Greg a link if he wants to join. I'm just shaking. I've been putting costume together and just absolutely ready to do this.
I'm super excited for this, like more so than I already was. I was already excited for this show. Now, like tenfold, because just his hyping and knowing the fans that are going to be there, and just kind of like how much fun they're already having before even having the show. Hey, Ryan, thank you for welcoming me back. I appreciate it.
We are glad to have you guys back. By the way, you and James were very missed. I had so much fun with Ryan last week, but you guys were very missed.
You start learning what our jobs actually are.
Yeah.
Like what we actually do behind the scenes. Squints is in the building.
Did you want to do the introduction?
What up?
What
I
up,
just
yeah.
want
Squints?
to know if Phil brought me whiskey.
You know what, man? I have a specific whiskey, but I need you to come to California and drink it with me.
I'm
Ryan
trying
wants
to make
you,
that happen.
Ryan wants you to know that we are fine and we're taking over the show without you, and it's all good.
I mean, services are no longer needed in that case.
No.
You know what? Okay. So, on my birthday, I got to give you guys a little story time, right?
Okay.
On my birthday, we went to the Jack Daniel's distillery.
Nice.
Ooh.
I have a greater appreciation for Jack Daniel's.
Really?
I've never been a Jack Daniel's fan. I'm gonna 100% be honest with you guys.
me either.
I've never been a fan of Jack Daniel's.
Really?
I've always thought it was a
Nope.
subpar whiskey.
Mhm.
After going and watching their distilling process and the amount of love and art that goes into what they do, I am now a fan of Jack Daniel's.
Ooh.
So question for you, Phil. Have you ever done a tasting?
Yes, I did a tasting at Jack Daniel's.
I mean,
Okay.
obviously, if you went to the Jack Daniels.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
so we're gonna be shooting some Jack Daniels then at Capitola.
Maybe. Now, here's the crazy thing: Jack Daniel's, their distillery is in a dry county.
Really, I did not know this one.
Yep.
They're in a dry county, and it's just they were explaining like why it's still a dry county. It was basically like during Prohibition they were a dry county, and then when Prohibition was ended, they just never like voted
Lifted it,
to turn it back.
Mhm.
And then after they saw how crazy Nashville started getting, they were just like, yeah, we're just gonna stay dry.
Keep it dry. Yeah.
They were just basically like, we don't want to deal with the crazy bullshit that Nashville deals with.
So wait, Nashville's not dry, is it?
No, Nashville's not dry.
No,
Okay.
Nashville's not
The
dry.
reason that Moore County where they're at is dry is because of how crazy Nashville is.
Yeah. No, thank you. No, thank you.
They were like, we're just gonna stay dry, which is fine because you just drive like 5 minutes into the next county and you can buy Jack Daniel's.
Drunks on scooters sounds like
Jackie, I
Sacramento.
actually have a funny story about that, but
Yeah.
I'd have to save that for off the.
Yeah, so Jackie does have a really funny story about drunks on scooters because it was a joke that the lady at Jack Daniel's made, and it cracked me the fuck up. But
Oh no.
like I said, going back to the story, I have a greater appreciation for Jack Daniel's now that I did not have before. Again, because of the process that they go through, so number one, they do not have any other distilleries anywhere else. Every drop of Jack Daniel's ever made is made in that distillery.
Mhm.
Right?
Well-
They ship to over 183 countries. Every little drop of Jack Daniel's is made there. Number two, they sit on a natural well, like spring, natural spring of water, and all of their water is water that they've filtered from there since Jack Daniel's himself discovered the spring, which we got to go see. Right? They make all of their charcoal, their filters. They make all of their charcoal on site. So nothing is shipped out. They make all of their barrels on site. So every barrel that carries Jack Daniel's is made on their premises. Once they're used, they ship their barrels out to other companies that use Jack Daniel's barrels. So a lot of times you'll hear about like, our rum was aged in Jack
beers or-
Daniel's
yeah.
barrels, or our beer was aged in
Mhm.
Jack Daniel's barrels. And it's because they make all of their barrels on site. Right? They started explaining the difference between regular Jack Daniel's, Gentleman Jack, how rye mash is made, all that kind of stuff. And just there's an artwork, there's an art to it, right? that they just kind of there is genuine love that goes into Jack Daniels. And that makes me appreciate it, because the thing is it's not just like, oh, we make whiskey, you know, it's like we genuinely make this because we have a love for making this.
Coming from being raised by a true Irishman, I mean, I can say I've been raised with a love of Jack Daniels, but I didn't know all these things.
Yeah.
I've always felt like Jack Daniels subpar. Again, I like Gentleman Jack because, you know, it always felt smoother to me. And I asked them, you know, she was like, no, Gentleman Jack, the reason that it's smoother is because there's 3 extra feet of charcoal filter that it goes through.
Yeah.
So they filter it more, and that's why it's smoother. And I was like, okay, that makes sense, right? They also explained why rye is rye. Now they also, and I said all that just to get to this part of the story. She was saying everything you can buy at Jack Daniels, like on site, you can buy anywhere. The difference between different Jack Daniels is like the labels, right? So there'll be like different labels. The only thing that's really different is the single barrel, which is because it's like top shelf, like top barrel aged, and the what's his face, what's his knuckles, what's his name, Frank Sinatra, the Frank Sinatra one, because the Frank Sinatra one, they cut grooves in the barrel and they burn it different, so that way it has kind of like a more like smoky taste to it, because it's supposed to emulate. He used to, like, when he would drink whiskey at his shows, he would also pour whiskey for the crowd, and the whole thing is supposed to be like you're drinking whiskey with Frank Sinatra while he's smoking a cigarette, and that's what they're trying to make that. They're trying to like make that whole thing, right? So, you know, so basically everything that's there is you can get anywhere except for one bottle, right? There's one bottle called Tennessee Tasters that you can only get in Tennessee, right? And it's never the same, right? They always make different versions of it, so you'll never get like the same 2 bottles that are the same, right? Or I mean, if you buy them at the same time, yeah, but I mean, like if you buy like one now and you buy one 6 months from now, it'll never be the same kind of whiskey, right? It's always rye. It's always a mash. So what they do is they kind of like take different types of rye and mix it together to get different flavors. They also, what they'll do is they'll go back and buy used Jack Daniels barrels, right? So say like a barrel was used for a rum company, they'll go back and buy those barrels and get that rum taste from that barrel back into the rye whiskey, or, you know, they'll do stuff like that. So me and Jackie bought 2 bottles of Tennessee Tasters.
Ooh.
And it is called the Jamaican Spice, right? I'm gonna grab it real quick so you guys can see it.
Gino is asking, can't you buy something at the Jack Daniels gift shop and they throw in the whiskey for free? I've heard that rumor.
That I'm trying to remember because it's been a while since I've been there.
Because it's a dry county. So I always assumed dry county meant you couldn't even buy the alcohol, but apparently you can.
No, you can buy. You just can't. You
drink
so
it.
You can buy it, but you can't consume. And the reason we get away with that, why we can do a tasting, is because everything they gave us was less than a shot. So this is it.
Ooh.
And like I said, you can only get it in Tennessee. So that was the only reason we bought this and not anything else. Because everything else you can buy anywhere you go. I can go and get a Frank Sinatra bottle anywhere. I can go and get a single barrel anywhere. Right. I think the only other thing you can do there that you can't do anywhere else. Wait, what did Jack say?
You can get a free shot glass if you
spend over $10 in the general store. But I mean, on the other thing is that the proof on these tend to be higher. So this is 100 proof.
100 proof,
right?
yeah.
But yeah, so the only other thing I think that you can get there that you can't get anywhere else, you can literally buy a barrel, right? Like a barrel of whiskey, and you get it's the single barrel one, right? So like, you know, they make the top shelf single barrel. You can buy one of those barrels, and they were packaging one of them while we were there, because you walk through the through the bottling plant. They were bottling a barrel, and she was saying, like, you know, you can do anything. You can do custom engravings on them and stuff like that. There was one dude, he was going through a divorce, and everything that his wife and lawyer said he wrote down in a notepad, and I guess he went and sat there for 2 days and engraved every negative thing that his ex-wife and her lawyer said onto a bottle, so that every time he drank a bottle, it would remind him of like the bullshit that she put him through. Right. But other things, they said a common thing that people do is like for weddings, right? So like, wedding favors, they'll give you, basically you buy a barrel and you can give people wedding favors a bottle of single barrel whiskey that was custom made for you. I wanted to do it. I wanted to do it. I didn't even find out how much it cost, but like I wanted to do it. But Jackie was like, "Yeah, no, we're not buying a whole barrel of whiskey. You're crazy." Which I mean, that is she's right. That's a crazy thing for me to do. But I mean, I do love whiskey. So,
in fact, there's a tradition, an Irish tradition, that you create whiskey and then it goes and stays in the bottle until your kids turns however old. In Europe it's younger, but I just did that for a friend of mine who had a baby, where we created a bottle for him and we're going to give it to him when he turns 21. So I'm kind of excited about that.
Nice.
Something on the same lines but different. My grandfather had a bottle of flor de caña, like an 18-year-old flor de caña that he had, like, when he passed away, we found it. And my cousin Aldo popped it open. So he didn't leave it on its side, so the cork just completely just disintegrated into the bottle when we opened it. So we had to sift out pieces of cork.
Yeah.
But the rum was so good, and we were just like, "Thank you, Grandpa Chete."
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Grandpa Vicente. We love you, but thank you for the rum.
We were like that. We were like that with whiskey when my grandfather first died. We found all of his whiskey bottles, and
when he first died, so he died.
Yeah, so he died again.
When he died, it's really common to kind of rag on the dead and kind of make fun of them, and tell really embarrassing jokes and stories and whatnot. And every time we did that, we took one of his whiskey bottles and toasted to him.
I swear to God, Irish people and Latinos, we're very kin to each other.
For sure.
Because we talk a lot of shit. Just like this, hey, you remember that one time?
Yeah. So Phil, can I plan your next birthday? You'll come out here.
Oh man, you know what? I am not against going back out to Denver. I love going to Denver. When I went last time,
I'll bring you to Laws.
Is it snowing out there right now?
No, it was freaking 50 degrees today.
Denver,
because it was. The last time I went to Denver was November of 2019, and it was fucking terrible. It was like the worst snowstorm they had in 3 years at that point.
Yeah,
I do notice that Oregon and Colorado tend to be very similar in weather. I don't know what that is, but they are.
Yep, for sure.
Because I had a friend, we went to separate colleges, and she was out in Denver and I was in Portland, Oregon. And we would be like, what's the weather like? And it would just be almost exactly the same.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty similar. I've lived in both places. So.
Yeah, but maybe we'll plan out a trip to Denver next year.
Denver. Yeah. I mean,
you should come to Phoenix.
We actually
definitely.
We originally had planned, I don't remember what it's called. There was a place in Colorado we wanted to go to. It's in the southwest. I'm trying to remember the name of it. And they're famous for a train. I'm trying to remember. Jackie, I know Jackie's on stream. What was the name of the place we wanted to go to in Colorado?
By the way, James says he's not going anywhere near any place. It's called Lynchburg.
I know, right? Like Lynchburg, the word, a common misconception is that lynch specifically was used against black people. It was for a long time, but lynchings actually started against the British.
Yeah.
Right. Lynchings originally, I was listening to a podcast. They
Durango.
Yeah, Durango is the place we wanted to go to.
I'm not sleeping that right.
That night. Yeah, the originally what they would do is they would find British redcoats or people who sympathized with the British, and they would hang them by their thumbs.
Mhm.
And then later on, they started using them for mostly against black people, but then also against any white sympathizers. So any white people who sympathize for black people, they would also lynch them. This is because I guess what they were talking about in the podcast was just about, like lynchings are a thing and they have gone on for a long time, but
Mhm.
it wasn't just black people. It was a lot against black people, but it was also just anyone who was like, yeah, it was terrible. Let's
Yeah,
not
they
talk
don't.
about shit
They,
anymore.
they don't talk about how the Scottish and the Irish were not actually considered white for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just funny
So-
because like I joke, but I'm just like, who's whiter than the Irish, man? A lot of Irish people are like fucking blinding white.
You can stick us up and make us guide the ships, right?
There's a meme that I saw that I thought was the funniest thing. Like Italians, I understand because they tend to be a little darker, but there was a meme that I saw of something about like look at this girl trying to get a tan, and then like under it said, no, you're not looking at the right person. And then you look at the sand and there's like literally a white girl like in the sand tanning and you can't see her. Like that's what I think when I think Irish people. Sorry.
Right.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm part Norwegian, and then I have like a lot of Irish in me, and so I can really tan, and then I just go straight back to white as soon as it gets cold out. It's almost like the tan washes off.
I'm a very fair-skinned Hispanic, so
hmm
I burn first, and then after I burn, I start tanning, and then I turn into a white boy again once the sun goes away.
Yeah, Mexican and Italian, and I do the same thing. So
There's a book called The Kitchen House that is told by an indentured Irish servant. Yeah. There's also one called White Cargo, where they talk about how the Irish were slaves.
Right.
At
What
the
is
same
Santos?
time.
Oh,
Oh.
Santos Lopez just said.
Santos! Yeah, I was gonna go after a bracket tonight, but this is interesting stuff too.
Yeah.
mhm.
I love history. In fact, that was a big part of when I first got into history, because I was interested in the book White Cargo, where they started talking about and finding out that my ancestors came over here as slaves. So that was just one of a thing that got me big into history. Is my ancestors came over as what?
Yeah.
The thing is, they were still treated differently just because
Mhm.
it was more indentured servitude.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you could earn your way away.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas other people who were brought here were not considered human.
Murdered, yeah.
Well, just not considered human in any way. Like even up until recent times, we're still considered less than human. So I mean,
Mhm.
that's the difference. And it's sad because you put human life over other human life, and that's just garbage because
Yeah.
humans
And their weird definitions of who was who and what was what, it kind of boggles the mind. As a historian,
now that I'm like learning a lot more about this stuff, I still don't understand the process of why certain races weren't considered white.
Mhm.
And I think a lot of it also has to do with like post World War II is when they started doing all that, because it was when there was like like the Nazis kind of gave like a clear definition of what was white and what wasn't.
a lot of it too is whoever talked funny. If you talked funny, you weren't white.
Yeah.
And which is just funny because you just came back from a southern location, whereas the Irish and the Scottish had a huge influence on the southern culture. In fact, they talk about in linguistics how the Irish accent influenced the southern accent,
I can see that.
Okay.
and the Dutch influence. If you go into like Michigan and all the states up there, they talk of the Hoosiers. That's very Dutch.
You know who we influence is LA culture, because how many Latinos speak
For sure.
Spanish accent but don't speak Spanish? It's a thing.
Spain had control of that whole coast for a while.
I was joking, but I'm just saying,
Oh yeah.
like LA culture, like you meet a lot of people, like especially Latinos from LA that have that, oh, what you doing? No, you don't know what you're doing, you know, like that stupid ass,
Yeah.
you know, Valley Latino accent, but they don't speak
Valley Latino. I've never heard that before. I like that.
because you think about it, like that not everybody, only people from LA have that weird ass accent.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, you stupid.
That is. I never thought about that before.
Nobody thought about it. Oh, you so stupid. Oh, you so stupid.
Because I had so many classmates growing up in West Sacramento that had that accent,
Mhm.
and then
They don't speak
having
Spanish.
yeah, or they speak they're like third generation here, right?
Yeah.
Where mommy and daddy and grandma and grandpa came over here, and mommy and daddy were born here, and they were born here,
Like
and so you can.
it's the essay accent. Like, you know, it's like
Mhm.
that accent where, like, you know, like straight up, like they speak like an essay, but they
Mhm.
don't speak Spanish.
No.
And it's like, why do you have a Spanish accent, but you don't speak Spanish? Fun fact: Latinos are more racist about each other than we are about anyone else.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
for sure.
Oh yeah.
We are very
sure.
self-loathing.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the Irish. We literally have a whole where we were murdering each other for a while. So
Was
I
it
think
over potatoes? I'm sorry, that was
Yeah.
racist. I'm sorry. I'm done with that.
I think it happens. They don't really talk about it. It's not something that is heavily talked about in school, but there is intercultural wars all the time.
Well, yeah. I mean, you know, if you know anything about kind of like, you know, the dynamic in like Oakland and LA, there's like, especially in Chicago, there's a lot of it too. But there's
Yeah.
a lot of like race war between Latinos and blacks,
Mhm.
Mhm.
which I actually was on a podcast a while back where we were talking about that. And we were talking about just how dumb a lot of that stems from, like why Puerto Ricans and Dominicans don't like each other, right? And it stems back to because Puerto Ricans got citizenship in 1914, and when you're born in Puerto Rico, you're an American citizen, right?
Mhm.
Because because they're an unincorporated state. Well, Dominican Republic doesn't have that, so they're just kind of like, okay, well, you know, we hate Puerto Ricans because we don't, you know, we're not citizens when we're born, and that's kind of like where like a lot of that comes from. Learn that
Mhm.
from Dominican dude, you know, or like again, a lot of Central Americans, we don't like each other.
Really?
It's weird. In specifically like Guatemala, Nicaragua, El Salvador, Costa Rica, right? Nicaraguans and Costa Ricans don't get along at all. Guatemalans and Salvadorians don't get along. Nicaraguans and El Salvadorians don't get along. But I've always found it funny that El Salvadorians and Nicaraguenses always get married.
Yeah.
Isn't that the
It-
case though?
Case in point, my parents.
And
Really?
My
definitely
mom's-
don't call another ethnicity Mexican.
yeah.
Don't.
We all get offended when you call
Yes.
us Mexican. I think that all has to do with like generalization though, because we tend to get generalized a lot.
Yeah.
It tends to be a lot of like, oh, well, all Latinos are Mexican. It's like, no, we're not. We're like culturally, we're not even the same.
Mhm.
Yeah, like Nicaraguans and Mexicans are like the farthest from each other as far as culture goes. The only thing that we share is in some certain areas we may have the same like lineage as far as Native American, but we don't even speak the same Spanish.
Mhm.
You know, half of us don't even eat the same food. You know, like it's crazy.
That's like saying there's a Canadian French and French are the same thing. It's so
Right.
not.
Right.
Yeah. It's so different.
In fact, I got into a fight with a professor or even my dean when I was in college. I took French, and then they tried to put me in with this teacher that taught Canadian French. I'm like, you're kidding me, right?
Oh, I used to do it in high school all the time when people would be like, "Hey, can you help me with my Spanish homework?" Like, yeah, you want to fail?
Yeah.
I don't speak the same Spanish. You're learning Castellano Spanish.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You prefer Vato or Holmes? No, but like Castellano Spanish, right? That's Castilian Spanish. That's the kind of Spanish that they speak in Spain, right? Me personally, I associate that accent with like very, very like nose tipped up kind of Spaniards.
It's proper.
But I've dealt with Spaniards before. Like when I worked at Best Buy, I dealt with a lot of Spaniards who would do the whole "I'm better than you because I'm pure Spanish." I literally had a dude tell me that that I was ignorant because I was of mixed race.
I don't get that.
In Spanish, there's a lot of double entendres, but not like intentional double entendres in Spanish. So in Spanish, a lot of times when you want to call somebody ignorant, you'll call them indio, right? Indio means Indian, like Native American.
Yeah.
Right. So I had a dude that literally he said that I was ignorant because I was of mixed Spanish race. And I wanted to punch him in the mouth so bad. I ended up just telling him to leave the store and that I wasn't going to take his money.
See, I don't get that because, especially if you're in the US, right? You're going to come up upon a lot of, which is funny because there's a lot of Americans. If you ask them, where's Nicaragua? They
won't know.
Like,
they won't know.
I have no idea.
Most of them have never heard of it.
Yeah. Where?
Yeah.
Most Americans have never heard of Nicaragua, which is funny because there was a conqueror from Kentucky that literally took over Nicaragua for like in the 1800s.
Yeah,
and tried to commit genocide. Yeah, and then he got ousted. Like Costa Ricans came and like murdered him. Like literally, there's an airport in Costa Rica that is named after a kid that beat the shit out of this dude. Because he was trying to take over Central America. In the name of Manifest Destiny. He thought that, okay, well, it's our right to have all of the Americas. So he was trying to take over Central America, and the first country he managed to get into was Nicaragua. Try to get rid of all the ethnic Nicaraguenses.
Yeah, I remember. I went to private school where it was primarily most of my classmates spoke Spanish, but I would come upon these parents that were like, fighting in Spanish. I'm like, you're both speaking Spanish. What's your deal?
Yeah, because we're not the same. We just speak the same language. That's like if a Brit gets in a fight with somebody in the South.
Yeah.
It's two completely different versions of English, and they're from different places that are culturally different.
But you get to the point where it's like we're all here on the same planet. Get over yourself.
We're people. Just eat people. If aliens came and destroyed the Earth tomorrow, they wouldn't care that one was black and one was white.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I would hear people be like, "Oh, we're gonna take back California for Mexico." I'm like, you already have. It's called burritos and tacos and really amazing food.
Which is not even our food. Like most of that stuff is Tex-Mex.
Yeah. I know.
When you go to Mexico for your first time and you try to find like a burrito and they're like, we don't have that, we got tortas, and then you have a torta for the first time and you're like, oh my god, this is delicious.
We used to go when I was a teenager. We used to go a lot to Mexico when we were teenagers, but it was the hoity-toity,
Yeah.
Yeah, you go to like Cancun where it's like, basically America, but in Mexico.
Yeah. Because if you ever went to a real legit place, you'd probably really fear for your life.
Oh, if they know you're American, you might get ransomed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I remember finding out in college, because I started to do archaeology, how many people really do hate Americans?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, most countries hate Americans because Americans are rude, and it's funny because I would always run into like foreigners that would be vacationing and think, hey, these people are rude. How come they think that Americans are rude? And then finally realizing why is because Americans really are. I've like dubbed a certain term the American. It's when you like yell really loud and speak in English slowly. It's like
Oh,
I'm
no.
I'm not an idiot. I just don't speak your language, jackass.
Mhm.
Right.
You came to Mexico speaking English, and I don't speak English. I'm not an idiot. I just don't speak English.
Mhm.
Mhm. There's a lot of learning how to say qu'est-ce que c'est.
No soy pendejo, no hablas en inglés. Háblame claro. Yay. Puta, man.
Yeah, no, it's really
¿Qué me
funny.
dijiste a ti, este pendejo? ¿Qué qué?
Yeah, we had neighbors that spoke Spanish when I was younger and when my parents were younger,
Mhm.
and yeah, they teach really bad things.
Oh yeah.
Shit, most of us speak Spanglish anyway, so it's like
Mhm.
Right.
I don't think you can grow up in California without really being exposed heavily to Spanish.
Yeah.
Heck, my husband speaks Spanish and he grew up in Oregon. I'm not sure he's even listening anymore because he's quit commenting, but yeah, he speaks Spanish. He'll call it kitchen Spanish because
Oh, that's right. He's a cook. I was like, for what? Oh, that's right. You work in the kitchen. You have to know Spanish because
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
so many of us work in kitchens. Which again, is
Although
because it's like like when you hear some of these people that talk about like, oh, we want to get rid of the Mexicans and get them out of this country, and they're like, who's gonna make you food?
mhm.
Do you and when they say that stuff is like, do you really think that Latinos want to make you a taco after you badmouth us like that?
Who's gonna make you food? Yeah, who's gonna make you?
Be the same.
Who's gonna make you food? Take care of the fields, clean everything. Keep
Mhm.
everything running
Oh,
behind the
who's gonna
scenes.
do
Yeah,
all the shit jobs that nobody wants? They do them because there's it's Mexican specifically. Their culture is very hardworking,
Mhm.
and it's like yeah, like you run into that a lot with Mexicans, and it's like not that Americans aren't hardworking, because a lot of Americans are, right? But it's like some of the shit jobs that Mexicans take because other people don't want to do it.
Mhm.
Mhm.
It's like, who's going to do that stuff now, especially for the pay that they get?
Mhm.
Yeah.
They make shit for pay for all the stuff, the garbage that they go through.
In fact, I made Gino laugh on one of our first dates because I ordered something and they brought it out and it was wrong and they brought it back and I heard him go in the back and speak Spanish and I said, "Oh, this place is going to be good." Yeah, yo soy.
Yo soy marinero. Yo soy aquí.
Ricky. I was like, I know I'm going to butcher that.
Yo no soy marinero.
I took French, and I grew up around people who speak heavily French. Don't forget the Filipinos be holding it down. Yeah.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
They do. It's that Pinoy Nation, bro.
And again, more good food. I mean,
Mhm.
I think a lot of the Latin languages have really amazing food, and I think it's just love and food.
Oh yeah. No, we have a love for food.
A love for food. Soy capitan. Soy capitan.
Soy capitán, soy capitán. A la bamba. A la bamba.
Squids is laughing.
Maybe I should sing that on the TikTok soon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Those have been fun.
que necesito un poco de gracia.
Oh man.
Funny story. When I was about 2 or 3, I had we had a relative bring a friend over and that taught me that song.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And that was all I did over and over and over. My parents like, stop. Then some Selena.
Órale.
What does that mean? I can never get anybody to explain to me what that means.
Órale.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, orally is just really like, you know, I don't know how to explain orale. It's like all right then, kind of.
Okay.
Orale.
Because I remember
Expression.
one of my favorite comics, Gabriel Iglesias, has that in his.
Órale.
Yeah.
Hey, hey, yoo-hoo. Hey, Holmes, how did you get in there?
Alrighty then.
Hey,
Oh, come on. You got to do it with the Jim Carrey. Alright.
Alrighty then.
alrighty then.
What language do you speak, Squints? Any?
Very broken Spanish.
Okay.
I used to speak it fluently when my grandmother was around, but she died when I was in 5th grade,
Oh,
and I
sorry.
haven't really spoken it since. Little, but not enough to like
Bits and
keep up
pieces.
with it. Yeah,
I
I can
gotta-
understand. I can understand more than I can speak. So,
I think that's where I am, especially with Spanish.
mhm,
We did more French at home,
right.
especially when I was little. They spoke a lot of French around me, so that I wouldn't understand, and then I started catching on.
Yeah.
I didn't really have that at home. They spoke Spanish because, you know,
Because they did.
because my dad, you know, like my dad doesn't
Right.
speak very much English.
Mm-hmm.
My grandmother, by the time I was born, had dementia already,
Okay.
and with Latinos especially, you revert back to your original language when you get older.
Yeah.
When you get dementia. Both of my grandmothers on my mom and my dad's side both forgot English when they started getting dementia.
They forgot Spanish.
Oh,
Oh,
they-
English. They forgot English.
Yeah, they forgot English.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
that must have
only.
been interesting.
It makes you practice. That's all it is.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
makes
Yeah.
I have to like practice my Spanish because if I want to talk to my grandmother, I have to speak Spanish. You know, same thing with my dad. Like if I want to talk to my dad, well, more so it's easier to talk to my dad. My dad understands everything.
Mhm.
He has the most broken accent in existence.
Mm-hmm.
You know, again, I've got a story about my dad's accent, and I'll go over that after. But I mean, yeah, his English is so broken. Lo mejor que me habla en español, que no entiendo, okay? But my dad, so fun story.
Mhm.
My dad, he cusses in Spanish, but we had never heard him cuss in English. And so we have a long running joke now because of this story I'm about to tell. My dad, so my sister was a swimmer, right?
Mhm.
And my dad gave her like a deal and said, if you can finish in top 3 at your meet, then we'll go out and get ice cream. My sister's favorite treat was Baskin Robbins. So she ends up finishing first in all of her events. And so the deal was, you know, because she finished first and everything like that, we were supposed to go get ice cream. All right. Well, we're driving back home, and we passed by a Baskin Robbins, and my sister just starts crying. She's like, "You said that we were gonna go and get ice cream," and she was just like super upset. And my dad, without missing a beat, closed on Sunday. Shit. And my sister stopped crying in her tracks, and me, my sister, and my mom all looked at each other and was like, "Did he just cuss in English?" And we were just cracking up, and to this day we still joke about that.
That's
To a
funny.
point where Jackie knows that joke now. So like, I'll be like, "Oh, closed on Sunday," and she'll go, "Shit."
You should told me that story after MouseCon.
Yeah.
Your dad sounds adorable.
My dad is hilarious. Like if you ever, and my dad is also like, he's kind of scary because he does shit that that a 71-year-old man should not be doing.
Mhm.
Like just last weekend and 2 weekends ago, we asked him to help us because he's like an amateur arborist.
Mhm.
So we asked him to help cut some branches on the tree, and he just like climbs in the tree with a chainsaw
Oh
and is like climbing around a tree with a freaking chainsaw. Not scary as in like, oh, we think he's like a scary dude and he's gonna murder people.
no. No.
He does shit that's like, oh my god, dude, you're gonna die.
You're gonna die. Yeah.
So a little bit of a daredevil.
Yeah, and we had to like tell everybody because like a couple of different people were just like, oh my god, that's unsafe. He's not gonna be okay. Tell him to stop. It's like, no. You need to understand now. You cannot tell my dad to stop. Because if you tell my dad to stop, he's just gonna ignore you and keep doing it. He does not care.
Does
Again,
he like to?
story. Huh?
Does he like to sing too?
Not really.
No.
Another story about, and this is a more recent one. We went down. My parents live in Brentwood, so we went down and hung out with them and whatnot. And they had just gotten the house and everything. And my dad was cutting branches in his tree, and I guess he fell off of an 8-foot ladder. So he continues to work the rest of the day. And I mean, he seems like he's fine now. It's more so because he's more. He has a lot of willpower and just will fight through whatever's hurting him.
Mm-hmm.
You'll never know that he's hurt because until he slows down, he's just going to keep working through it.
Yeah.
So fell out of the tree, and he seems fine for the rest of the day. End of the day, we're getting ready to leave, and he starts like, he's done working and whatnot, and he's walking back into the house. But he's limping, and we're just joking. We start joking on him, and it's like, "Oh, old ass man, your age is starting to show." He just starts laughing, and everything's fine and whatnot. Later on that night, my mom texts me and says, "So, you know how your dad was limping back into the house?" And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Yeah." Took off his boot, and this is what we saw. And his ankle had swollen up, like a meat to
Did he break his ankle?
He broke his ankle. It swole up to a point where he couldn't get the boot back on, so he went to the hospital, and he had a broken ankle. Put a cast on him, and basically for the entire time that he had that cast on, I'd ask my mom, "Hey, how's my dad doing?" "Oh yeah, he tried to cut the cast off again."
Oh,
Want to go back to work?
Oh, he's tenacious.
Yeah, he is like. He doesn't feel right if he's not working.
Tell him. James says maybe you need to tell him to stop in Spanish.
I know, right?
Yeah, I don't think that'd work.
Definitely wouldn't work.
Tell him when he does something, and then Santo says, "Tell him when he does something dangerous to stop, because you need to call it and up the insurance first."
What's funny is he would laugh and then keep working.
Julie says Herman's always smiling.
He is. My dad always has a smile on his face. Always.
Oh.
My dad always has a smile on his face.
Does he? He loves to tell jokes.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Siempre bromeando. Always joking.
It's adorable.
My dad clowns too. Like he is relentless when it comes to like joking.
Mm-hmm.
He will clown on you, and it's like if you don't have a good sense of humor around him, you're gonna get offended. That guy constantly clowning, but he does it in Spanish though, which makes it 10 times funnier. So I mean, like,
Yeah.
What about your mom? What's your how's your mom take all that?
oh, my mom has figured to a point like she knows she can't say anything to him because he's not going to listen. So she just kind of just like out of sight, out of mind. She'll like walk away.
How long have they been married?
93.
Okay.
Almost 30 years.
Yeah, I mean he's technically my stepdad, but I mean like,
Yeah.
he's my dad for all intents and purposes.
Oh yeah.
He's the man I consider my father. He was my father figure.
Aww.
Gotcha.
And like my dad was in the picture too, but I mean like he wasn't at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
We're not gonna get into that though. That's a little.
No, I get it. My
Mhm.
my biological father was not around.
Mhm.
I have my my stepfather came around when I was about 15.
Michael.
Yeah.
Big Mike.
Mm-hmm. In fact, they're
Speaking
not
of, I haven't seen them
commenting.
in the chat tonight.
They're probably shopping. We're all getting over some sort of weird bug that hit everyone at like the same time.
Okay. Yeah, I remember you saying that last
They got
week.
They got the non-covidia.
Yeah. Because I tested negative and they tested negative, but we were all still like, I feel horrible.
Right.
I think it's just everybody's been so locked up for 2 years.
Yeah.
I assume that we're all just gonna get slammed with like really horrible bugs that aren't COVID.
It's probably not gonna be that bad because like
Yeah.
a lot of people just have. Like, there's been a lot of people who just haven't gotten sick because they've been wearing masks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
No, I haven't gotten any bugs or cold or
Yeah, I haven't
anything in
either.
2 years. Normally this time of year, I'm like going, there's nothing.
Of course, I don't get that sick much anyway, so I'm one of those people that has a high immune system, I guess.
I don't. If you so much as sneeze near me, I'm gone. It is I'm almost happy to have the last 2 years where I'm not getting sick all the time and
Right.
no one's blowing their nose around me.
Yeah.
And the moment that they remove masks, though, you're gonna have people going,
Oh, in Tennessee, that's all it was, just because they're
Oh, dude, they don't care. They do not care.
They don't give two shits.
No.
Oh.
No. So one of my friends runs a clothing company
Mm-hmm.
that they have a store in Long Beach and a store in Nashville
Oh yeah, you were telling me.
called Snake Oil Provisions.
Mm-hmm.
And they drove out during pandemic 3 or 4 times from California to Nashville to open the store, and every time they went, they're just like, oh my gosh, like we're gonna get it and we're gonna like be trapped here for
Me and Jackie were prepared. We were just like, so we're probably gonna get COVID while we're here. We didn't, but I mean, like,
Mm-hmm.
we were prepared to get to be ready for Rancho Covidia.
Yeah, no. It's funny because I tend to go out to Oregon about 3-4 times a year.
Mm-hmm.
Just go home and go and see friends and family
Right.
and stuff. And I notice whenever I'm going between California and up to Oregon and through Washington, you can watch the states go like, or the cities go red, blue, blue, red, red, blue, 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 red, 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 and it's really obvious because nobody's wearing a mask.
Yeah.
The red counties are no mask, and the blue counties are like glaring at you when you don't put it on fast enough.
Yeah.
Right.
In fact, I got glared at and told that I was like a Biden lover when I didn't have my mask on, and I completely forgot because I'd been spending a lot of time around a very conservative county.
Mhm.
And I would go grocery shopping, and I have my shot, so it doesn't really phase me all that much. If I
Right.
catch Omicron, I'll probably get the sniffles, and it's not that serious. I mean, it is serious, but it's not serious.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I was very liberal with my mask wearing, and I was also out in the snow and running around in the woods and stuff, so it didn't worry about. But
Yeah.
I go back into civilization, and people are like, "Oh, Biden lover," I turn around and I'm like, "Oh, right, my mask," because I'm wearing it.
Like, and what I noticed about Tennessee is people just mind their own business.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, like, people, like, if they have any reservations on the fact that you're wearing a mask, they're not going to say anything. They don't. It's just like, it's whatever's whatever, and whatever you do is whatever you do.
Mhm.
Right.
So, like, they don't. There's not really that. I mean, there might be judgmental looks, but there's no like judgmental like voices. There's nobody saying. Like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Nobody's saying something under their breath or like.
it's kind of like it's your choice, just like it's my choice not
Yeah.
to wear. You know.
Mhm. Yeah. I love Oregon. Oregon is very. You either get the very quiet, passive aggressive, or the very aggressive.
Yeah.
There's no between in Oregon.
Nope. Nope.
How long did you live in Oregon, Twins?
2.5 years.
Okay.
So. Yeah, and I have friends that work for Nike, and
Ooh.
yeah, I'm like, I need to go visit. I need new shoes. I was a sneakerhead for a long time, and then when I moved to Colorado, I sold a ton of sneakers, and
Ooh.
yeah.
So you're in that Portland, Beaverton area.
Hmm.
Ooh. I love Hillsboro.
Yeah. And then my favorite bookstore is there too.
Powell's.
Yes, I love
Yes.
that place. Love that place.
I like how immediately she's like, I know which one it is.
Yep.
It has to be this one.
That is the place that you haunt when you're in
Oh, yeah.
Portland. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know if you've ever been there, Phil, but it's 4 blocks, I think, of
Mhm.
a bookstore. Yeah.
Portland, I haven't been to. I've been to Seattle, but I mean that's other side.
Yeah, no, this
Yeah.
place is like 5
amazing.
stories, 5 stories of and 4 blocks worth of books.
I could sit in their design section forever.
Ooh, yeah. Their
Like-
their fantasy section. That was part of mine and Gina's first date. We went to Powell's.
Oh, cool.
We met
That's
at
awesome.
Powell's. And then we went to Powell's, then we went to Starbucks. And then we went to a it's hard to explain it. It's an improv show, but they were like LGBTQ friendly.
Okay.
And
Comedy.
nudity might happen.
Oh, that's
It's
Yeah.
Portland.
Yeah.
Not a shocker.
nonchalant. It's like, well, it's Portland.
Yeah.
It's Portland. In fact, it's legal to be naked there. Not people know that. Yeah. It is legal to be naked in Portland on any park. As if you step onto state property, which is like the roads and all that
Roads, yeah.
stuff,
Yep.
it's now illegal to be naked. But if you're running around a park, you can be naked.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's probably a lot of nakedness that you're just like, shield my eyes.
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
Ah,
And then
I'm blind.
In Portland proper, there is one day of the year
Why
where
is your ass so white?
one day of the year it is completely legal to be naked everywhere.
How do you run around naked all the time and your ass is that white?
And then the naked bike ride.
The naked bike ride. I've
actually
done the naked bike ride.
Oh, you've done the naked bike ride.
I've done the naked bike ride.
Good night, everybody.
It is something you do when you're very young and you're cute and everything is in place. And yeah. Yeah. Although not many people like look as good. I realized.
Yeah, there were times I was just like, oh god.
So you've done the naked bike ride?
Are they supposed to hang that low?
I had friends that did it. I'm like, no, you're not. No, I'm not. No, I'm good.
Yeah.
Hang that low?
The naked bike ride isn't illegal. It's not legal. They do it. It's like Portland is a big fan of doing a lot of on the down low stuff.
Keep Portland weird.
Yeah.
Yep.
They keep the route completely a secret, and you have to be in the know to see the naked bike ride.
Yep.
It's done in the dark, and it's just that one thing that they do once a year. You get on a bike and you ride around naked.
Bicycle.
You don't fall.
Bicycle.
Yeah.
I want to.
I saw a crash. I was like, oh god.
Oh my god, a crash while you're naked? That sounds
it was
That'd be
bad.
painful. Be painful.
It was bad. I was just like,
did you crash?
My dick
in gravel.
Oh,
did you crash?
No.
No, he's saying he saw somebody crash.
I saw someone.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, they hit gravel and just slid. And yeah, I was like, that's gonna leave a mark.
Oh.
That's where you like freeze it up for a second and you're like, and that's when he knew you fucked up.
Exactly.
Not to be confused with it.
Hey Jimmy, let me show you this permanent ass mark I have for the rest of my life because I fell off of a fucking bike while I was naked.
I don't have a penis anymore.
What happened to you? My dick fucking scraped off.
I can't.
I lost
anymore.
Bump.
I had an unscheduled fucking mastectomy. That's what happened right here. I lost my tits on a bike. It's fucking terrible.
There's also an illegal zoo bomb. I don't know if you've ever been to that one, Squints.
No, I've heard of it, but I haven't been.
So that one is once a year. They also keep it a secret when they're going to do it, but it's about the same time every year. Right. Where you get on a bike and there is a very, very, very steep hill in Portland.
Yeah, I know the hill you're talking about.
And it's going down to the zoo, and they call it the zoo bomb, and it's in the dark, and you get on a bike and you drive as fast as you can down that hill in the dark.
Sounds like not a good idea.
It's fun. I mean, most people ride it on kids' bikes.
On hard mode? On hard mode.
Yeah.
Most people ride it on hard mode, on a kid's bike on hard mode.
And then the rest of the year, these bikes that are used at the zoo bomb, and I think they kind of use them in the naked bike ride too. These bikes are chained to a pole in the middle of the city.
Yep.
Idiots.
Nobody knows who owns the key to this lock. It's a thing.
It's like, hey, random people can use this. Why does this smell like ball sweat? That's
pretty much
the only reason that I wouldn't want to do that. Aside from having to be naked. But I mean, like, just
how'd you get that random venereal disease that you got? I sat on a bike.
No, I was sitting on the bike seat. And I'm pretty sure that's how I caught chlamydia.
I mean, the rain gets it all year long. The sun, everything, the snow.
Not sterilizing. I'm sorry. That's
Yeah.
just making it worse.
Right.
I love how the chat went completely quiet. They're like, "What?"
The sun sterilized everything. No, it didn't. It made it worse. I'm pretty sure that's how AIDS got made.
Mm-hmm. It came from Portland, Oregon.
And I'm not joking about AIDS. I'm just
No.
a very serious thing. But it's that kind of uncleanliness.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, AIDS came from a monkey bite. So I mean,
I don't think it was a bite, Phil.
it was a monkey bite. And what happened is like the disease. It was almost how coronavirus started. It was a disease that was infected in, by it was like in monkeys.
It was in monkeys. I
And
don't think.
You want to look it up?
Okay, I heard that it came from having sex with monkeys.
No,
That's just what I heard.
science on it. I mean, look up the actual fucking shit on it. It was a monkey bite, and then that person had a sexual encounter with somebody, and the disease evolved.
Hmm.
God, fucking
Now
animal.
I gotta find this. The best accepted theory of, is that it is a descendant of a closely related virus simian.
Yes. Came from a monkey bite. We're talking about a lot of really deep shit on this fucking episode.
All right.
This is I don't.
History and
This is going to be the reason people stop
disease
following
and-
us. Like, listen, terrible, semi-liberal shit these people are talking about. Like, what the fuck?
We're being very fair though. Yeah, being naked, running around. Yeah. I mean, Portland isn't just all about being naked. There's zombie walks. There's yeah.
We don't want to hear about zombies. Talk about the nudity. Let's go.
Well, being legally naked for the day. There's a march. It's a whole march.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, and the cops escort them, and it's like a parade. It's like a naked parade, and then they get on the Max. I've always thought about that every year after they get on the Max. It's like, are they
Mhm.
sitting on the Max? Are they sitting down? I'm not getting on the Max anymore.
I
Right.
hope they're not. That's not a good idea.
Because I don't know if you know, but the Max is Portland's train system.
Yeah.
You know who else sits bare ass on a train in Portland?
Homeless people.
Homeless people.
Actually, they are so strict about the ticketing on their on next weekend's episode, Naked Lego Planet of the Apes build. Yes.
Now, is it that I'm building Naked Planet of the Apes, or is that
Or are
building
you naked while you're building?
am I building Legos while I'm naked?
Yeah.
I will tell you all, nobody wants to see that. Even people who think they want to see that don't want to see that.
Which is horrible because I actually there was a behind the scenes of last episode where I asked Matt what he was wearing.
And he said no pants.
I asked him. I said, "What shirt are you wearing?" And he said, "Well, we can't be naked." No, we can't.
He's like, "What are you wearing?" Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Nothing. Not wearing anything.
My birthday suit.
He's like, "I'm a mortician. I don't like clothes.
The people I work with are naked.
I work with naked dead people all day. I don't like clothes."
I mean, he gets paid to take clothes off dead people for a living, so
True.
and put the clothes back on, thankfully.
Yeah.
Actually, fun fact, most people get cremated naked.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
I never thought about it. Like, I don't think about it
I think
usually.
you can request, like, if somebody wanted to be cremated in like a certain suit or something like that, you can request it. But for the most part, I'm sure they don't. Like, they're trying to minimize like damage and shit.
Mhm.
And also, like, I mean, if you're giving somebody's remains, you know.
Well, and if you're wearing like things with like different like metals or buttons, there's damage to the equipment and ooh.
Well, ooh.
This is today's finished part, right? This was last week's right here. So now I'm gonna put these two together,
Ooh.
and this is what we've done so far.
Ooh.
We got what, a third left?
We got a third on the bottom left.
Nice.
You know what's funny is when I look at it like up close, it doesn't
Mhm.
look that cool. But then when I'm
No.
looking at it on camera, it looks badass.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It kind of sucks when you're looking at it like up close because it just looks like random Lego pieces.
Yeah, it just look like dots.
It really does. Like the closer you get to it, it just looks like a bunch of dots.
Yep.
Right. But
That's
then
why I love.
pulling back a little bit, like you
Mhm.
get like shadowing and like stuff on there. This is actually a fucking amazing concept.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I love pointillism.
Yeah, because like even the saber, like again, when you look close at the saber, it just looks like just a bunch of random ass pieces, right? But then when you
Oh. Okay.
yeah, you see like the glow from the lightsaber. It's pretty dope. Okay. That is it for this week as far as building because we got 3 minutes left. Look at that. I did it just in time. And half the time I was just talking shit and, not building and just whatever. Here, hold on. I'm going to turn that to the side and we can see. Look at that. It's right in my face.
In fact, do you want to talk about who's going to be on next week?
Yeah, absolutely do want to talk about who's on next week. So we have another con person, enthusiast, maker. How do I introduce
A con producer.
another con producer. There we go. All right. Now this one is a little more local. So for anybody in the Sacramento area who is ready to hop into some local awesomeness. Let's see. Did we get his name?
I didn't.
Where's James? James.
Help us, James.
James, are you there?
Are you here?
James has been the contact for that one.
Honest.
Yeah. Are you here, James? James, I need a name.
Name, please. Now.
I need a name, Dave.
Comic verse. Anyway.
So it is for Comic Verse here in Sacramento. And essentially, yeah, I mean, this is another con that we're going to be potentially working at. But it's going to be a lot of fun. So, I mean, that's the whole thing is, we're trying to do more cons as much as possible. Holy crap, this thing is washing my face out. Hold on. Number one, scale that back a little bit. Number two, why is it just me? All right. We want to see your pretty faces. Matter of fact, you know what? Right there. Okay. Hello. And not me. All right. And we just got a laughing emoji on that one. All with it. So yeah, guys, we're gonna be interviewing the gentleman who is running Comicverse. I would normally have a name, but James is not here to give me the name, and now I feel like a colossal asshole. So, we will be doing an interview for Comicverse, potentially maybe getting more. I mean, if Rob wants to come on next week, maybe we'll talk to Rob again and everything like that. We do have con season coming up and some deals happening with some cons, so we may have more people coming up. We may even have some wrestling. A wrestling event here in Sacramento that we may be promoting too. So stay on the lookout, guys. Look out for everything that we post. I'm going to get that code from Rob and we're gonna post that tonight. I think he said it was Nerd, right?
Yep.
Nerd. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So guys, Capitola Collecticon.
I'll post a graphic as soon as we're done with this.
Yeah. Capitola Collecticon, guys. March 4th, 5th, 6th. All right. 4th is the exclusive event. So that's the VIP thing, and that's where you get to meet and greet all the actors and all that kind of stuff. That was the Hollywood thing that we were talking about. The 5th is a Sons of Anarchy day, and the 6th is a Star Wars day. Come out and meet all the celebrities. You meet all the Boba Fett's. Again, he was mentioning, there are exclusives that are happening. They're going to have pops at the event. They're going to have photos at the event. Guys, come out and see us, right? And again, if you're going to come out to the con, right? When you buy the ticket and you go to checkout on Capitola Collecticon's website, you put in the code NERD at midnight tonight. So put in the code NERD and you get $5 off, right? That's a great deal. I think the tickets are what, $20?
$20,
Mhm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he is saying on his live, in fact, he's probably live right now. He is saying on his live, if you're having some sort of problem, if like you can't, afford $20, come on. But if you can't afford $20, talk to him because he will work it out with you.
Yeah.
He is an amazing person.
Guys, this is a fan expo more than anything. This is put on by the fans for the fans. This is not a big corporate, con like your San Diego Comic Cons, your LA Comic Cons. Not to say anything bad about those cons, but they are very corporate now, right? So that's the whole thing. Is like you get this kind of like fan expo that is put on by fans with a crap ton of celebrities. And you heard him earlier. There are celebrities that are trying to get on that he's turning down at this point. So this is we're at literally the beginning of a phenomenon, guys. I hope to see everybody there. If you can make it there, I hope to see all of you guys there. It's in Capitola, California, over by Santa Cruz. If not, for all of those that are in Sacramento, again, we're going to be doing Comic Verse. And I want to say that's the weekend of the 22nd, correct?
I believe so.
Right. We'll get you guys more information. Of course, if you guys tune in next week, we'll talk about it more at that point in time right there. Now, all that being said, everything that I've said right there, it is time for us to leave you guys. And again, I love you all. So 100% Squints, where can everybody find you?
Everybody can find me at Cuts and Chaos Pod. Still working on first season and getting that out. Got a couple good guests that I'm going to be recording here soon, and hope to have that out to you guys relatively soon.
Super sweet. Phenoix, let's go. What you got?
Facebook, Instagram, and of course, Insta Nerding.
Okay. That was it.
I mean,
Ladies and gentlemen, of course, you can find me at all of the Distance Nerding stuff. If it's Distance Nerding branded, I am there. 100%. Also James, also Phoenix, also Squints, also the Aarons, also the Bird, all of the cool people. Did I miss somebody? I did. Ray. Oh my God. No, can't forget Ray. Ray is freaking killing it. He's super hilarious with all the memes and stuff he's been posting.
Yes.
Yeah. His stuff has been great. But yeah, guys, check us at Distance Nerding. If it exists, you can find us at Distance Nerding. That is Facebook, YouTube. I'm forgetting all the other stuff right now. Twitch, Twitter,
MySpace
TikTok is the big one right now. MySpace, of course, MySpace.
OnlyFans.
The OnlyFans is the best right now. Again, we have pictures of feet.
bird feet.
Unipool's feet, right?
Unipool's feet are gonna be on there, but no, specifically, and it's basically just Crocs and white socks. That's the best, crusty white socks at that. I'm pretty sure you have into
Baby carrots.
Baby carrots. There are pictures of baby carrots there. 100%. My eyebrows look weird. All right, sorry, I'm being a weirdo. Guys, if you haven't checked out our TikTok, check out the TikTok because TikTok is stupid funny right now.
Duet with us.
No, please do. Aaron's actually been duetting a lot of our videos, and they're funny. But do a duet with us, you know, or yeah, just yeah, do it. Why not? Who doesn't want to hear Mickey singing 80s songs or Deadpool saying weird shit? You guys see the one I did about the Hulk's feet?
Yes, that was the best one.
Yeah. I thought that was funny because it was like it's very something that Wade would say. I'm gonna give you guys all a preview here. I was recently asked, Wade, what do you look like under the mask? And I can tell you, I look like the bottom side of the Hulk's left foot. Pretty much covered in athlete's foot. It looks terrible, but I know because I've seen the underside of his foot. It's a mirror image. The timing and everything is exactly how Ryan would do it too.
Yeah.
I love how he's wearing his Golden Girl shirt.
Golden Girl shirt, yeah. Because I did that. You saw the Golden Girls one, right?
Yeah, he's in mourning.
No, the other Golden Girls one, where he's doing like the Marvel. What character am I?
Oh no, yeah.
Yeah. Malfun challenge time. Let's do this. What the ass? What's B. Arthur? But it can't see my face. What the hell? No, I'm done with this. It's because I wear a mask. Malfunction. Jackie thought that was funny because at the very end, I was like, "Is it because I wear a mask?" I was hoping that it would see the mask and it would like say that he was like Spider-Man and I was gonna make Spider-Man jokes, but then it wouldn't see my face and I'm sitting there trying to fix it, right? And it saw B. Arthur's face and I was like, "You're fucking kidding me," right? Now, mind you, both of those are both voiceovers because my voice sounds terrible in the mask.
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
So I just went out and just like watched the video and just started like commenting as I was going. I did the Hulk one like 3 times because I have so many like inflections and movements. I was like, I have to hit certain things on that, right? So it's like specifically like, you know, people ask me, Wade, what do you look like under the mask? You know, like I had to make sure I had that, like, you know.
Yeah.
So things like that, right? But no, guys, I mean, that's just a preview of what we're doing on TikTok. The other stuff I can't play on this because we'll get sued. But I mean, like, you know, on TikTok I won't get sued because I can pretty much play any 80s song I want on TikTok. I guess actually we can do 10 seconds. I'll do a real quick preview of the one I dropped today. Have you seen the one I dropped today?
Yes.
Sing along.
The sing along that I dropped today?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sing along. Nashville style. I was a highwayman. Along the coach roads I did ride. That's all I'm going. Yes, I sang Highwayman as Mickey. Do it. Go watch it. It's funny. At least I think it's funny. I'm whatever. Anyways, guys, you can find us all at all the distance nerding everything. If it exists, we are there. So it is now time for the dance party, and my dancing is going to be done by something special here, but I'm going to start with you guys. So let's do it. All right. Squincher Phoenix. It's bird time.
He's finally reading it.
You're late, James. You're late. Wait. Video.